Hey, this is Tanya, creator of the Acupressure Reiki technique. Today will be the second video in the series on meridians in traditional Chinese medicine, and I'll be showing you the stomach and spleen meridians. I'm just going to give you a few tips on how to open and get those meridians flowing again, something that you can do at home. So first we're going to trace the meridians, starting with the stomach meridian. And actually, the stomach meridian does govern the stomach, but it also governs complexion because a lot of the points are in the face. And the stomach meridian actually begins in the face. It actually begins in the eyes. So the first thing that I would like to show you is stomach 1 is going to be right up under your pupil. And we don't necessarily have to do, touch under our eye very heavily. We want to be very gentle, but there is a little indentation right underneath your pupil. And you can just gently hold or just gently kind of go in circles. Just gently massage that. You don't even have to touch that, actually. You can go below to the next point, which is right up under the cheekbone. And you can feel right up under the cheekbone. And you can just you can actually take a few fingers, just kind of rub. You can actually rub, or you can even tap your cheekbones. And you can tap all around your eye to just kind of wake up that meridian. The stomach meridian governs complexion. And the stomach meridian is the most grounding meridian. It flows from the face all the way down to the big toe. So you can see how it can be so very grounding. So after you do all that tapping through your eye and your cheekbones, the next point, and this is a really good point, if you clench your teeth, you have TMJ. A lot of people with trauma hold tension in this point, so this is a really good release point. And you can clench your jaw and you can feel that muscle pop out, and the point is directly under that muscle. So you can just go ahead and hold. And I like to hold for about 3 minutes. Just hold with intention. And you can also rub. So then the stomach meridian, it will flow down the throat, and it's going to come to another really important point that is right up under the collarbone. This is a really good point to rub. It could be tender and sore for a lot of people. And you can just rub that one for about 3 minutes as well, or you can hold, or you can tap. Waking up that meridian. And then it's gonna go, you can feel the dip right there above your breast tissue. That's where that meridian point is. But if you just tap in this whole area, that is also fine. Then the meridian flows through the nipple, and then it comes inward, and it goes through the abdomen, through all your abdominal muscles. This is why it governs the stomach, because it covers all this area through here. And you can just kind of tap in this area. And it's going to go all the way down to your pubic bone. So you feel for the top of your pubic bone. That is another important point, because we tend to hold a lot of energy there. So blocked energy will be stored there, and we need to release that. That's where we have a lot of energy that gets blocked. And so just holding that point right there at the tip of your pubic bone, just holding that for about 3 minutes. And then the stomach meridian is going to flare out to the outside of the legs, and it's going to follow down the outside of the leg. And then another important point is below the kneecap. So you're going to go about 4 finger widths below your kneecap. And then the very outside of your shin bone, you can feel a dip. This point is a very good vitality point. It is a major point in the stomach meridian for fatigue, for shin splints, Any soreness and tenderness in here is definitely a sign of blocked energy. So if you have any kind of tension, or you just need that extra vitality, that extra energy to flow through, you can use your knuckles and you can just rub this spot for about 3 minutes. If you're laying on your back, you can bring your knees up to your chest and you can just hold in that pose, and you can feel the point by crossing your arms. That's another good way. There's so many different ways to reach these points, whether you're just doing like I'm showing you or you're doing yoga positions. There's so many different ways. So then the stomach meridian is going to keep flowing down the outside of the leg, and then it's going to go to the top of the foot. Now, this is the balancing point in the stomach meridian. This balances the meridian, the very top of your foot, not where your joint is, not where your foot bends, but go a little bit farther down. And let's see if I can get the camera to go. There we go. Right at the top of your foot, right in the middle, you're gonna feel an indentation. This is the balancing point for the stomach meridian. Hold that point. Hold that point. Or even like if you sit on your feet, like sit on your heels and your feet are into the floor, that's a really good way to get that point. Hold that for about 3 minutes, and then the meridian ends in the second and third toes. So you can go ahead and just grab those toes and just kind of wiggle them a little bit and hold them. And your sinuses are also in your toes as well. So if you're having some sinus issues, you can just kind of hold those toes and wiggle them around, give yourself a good massage. So that is the stomach meridian, and it joins the spleen meridian, its partner, in the big toe. The spleen meridian starts in the big toe. So you can just hold or wiggle, massage all of those toes there. And then the spleen meridian is going to go to the inside of the foot, and right at the ball, right behind the ball of your foot, there's two really great points for the spleen meridian. This is the balancing point for the spleen meridian. The spleen meridian governs blood flow, like regulating our blood and bringing energy into our body. So if you're anemic, you have any kind of blood disorders, the spleen meridian definitely needs to be worked on. And these points right behind the ball of your toe, like you feel the ball of your toe, right behind it are those 2 points. And you can hold those for 3 minutes. Just give yourself a good massage. Then that spleen meridian is going to go up through the ankle, underneath the ankle. And another good point is about 4 finger widths above the ankle. And this point tends to be super sore, especially on women. If you have any kind of edema, swelling, this point is definitely going to be sore for you. And you can rub that point. I prefer to rub this point. You can hold it for about 3 minutes, just stimulate that point. And then the spleen meridian goes up the insides of the leg. And then there's another point, about 4 finger widths from the top of the kneecap. And it is also a sore point. This is where we get more blood to come through. So this is a blood nourishing point. So you can hold that point as well for 3 minutes. And then the spleen meridian goes through the thigh, and then it hits the major point where there's blockage, especially in sexual reproduction blockages. You've got these ropey cords. So if you bend your leg where your leg meets your body, you can feel some ropey cords right in there. That's the point. That's the point that you need to be massaging or holding. And you can just hold like with your hands, your thumbs on the outside of your hips, and then just kind of just hold. And if you're on a ball, you can also just kind of move back and forth like this. This is a really good way to stimulate that point. So that's really good. That's where we store a lot of blocked energy in the spleen. We have to release that, or it causes reproductive problems, loss of blood flow, and anything to do with the spleen, this is where the blockage is going to be. That's where the chi is blocked, the energy. So then the spleen is going to come up, and then it's going to be right here under the rib cage. This is a really good point for releasing the digestive system. So the stomach and the spleen, they pair together. So with blood flow and digestion, this is a really good point for releasing, especially if you have stomach issues. And this is your solar plexus area as well. And if this area is tight right here in the middle, then you definitely have a blockage and you need to release that energy. But be very gentle with this area in the middle, because if you release too much, then it could make you feel a little bit ill. So you want to just hold that for a couple of minutes and just kind of get a feeling of like how tight it is, and then just kind of just gently massage it. And the spleen meridian will go up through the lungs, and then it ends on the outside. And you can just give yourself a hug, and you can reach those points by tapping, or you can just hug and squeeze for about 3 minutes and just take deep breaths, slow intentional breaths. And after you do that, a great point for just letting it all go is the lone one point. And that is going to be where I showed you in the first video. It's that little divot, right? It's under your collarbone, but it's just this space right here. And this is so good for just letting go and releasing. Yeah. So there we traced the stomach and the spleen meridian, and some simple little exercises that I showed you with that as well. You can also open up this entire area by doing some just movements like this, only moving the top half of your body, keeping your body still, your lower body still. Do these about 20, 30 times, and then do an angle side to side. And just really get that activated and let it go. And you can also reach up with one hand and down with the other. Come to center. Do the other side, and do that about 15 times on each side. If you want any more tips or you have any comments, let me know how this worked for you. Do it for about 2 weeks every day, and I bet you're going to see a difference, and I would love to hear what it did for you. And go ahead and like and subscribe so you can be notified when I put the next video up. And also, if you are having trouble with the stomach and spleen meridian, please reach out to me and schedule for an acupressure Reiki technique session, because I will work on that entire meridian for you, and you'll leave feeling just absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.